It was a sunny morning when Hana awoke from a long coma, after months in critical condition, surrounded by machines that beeped softly. The smell of disinfectant filled the air, and the glaring light made her eyes hurt. She blinked several times, trying to remember how she had ended up there. The last thing she remembered was a car accident. As her senses adjusted to the new reality, a clear image invaded her mind, a man with deep eyes and a warm smile. He called her my light, and Hana felt an inexplicable connection with him, as if she had known him her entire life. But there was something strange. No one around her seemed to know who that man was. Hana spent the first few days in the hospital recovering and trying to understand what had happened. The doctors and nurses were kind, but her questions were always met with confused looks. "Who is this man?" she would ask, but no one could answer. Determined to discover the truth, Hana decided she needed to leave the hospital. When she was finally discharged, she began her search. The city felt different. The streets were familiar yet strange at the same time. She sensed something special in every corner, as if the man who inhabited her memories was nearby. Hana started to investigate. She talked to people, visited cafes and places she remembered being before the accident, but no one seemed to know the mysterious man. Her hopes dwindled with each passing day, but his image remained alive in her mind, a beacon in the darkness of her forgetfulness. One night, while walking through a lit park, Hana saw a familiar figure in the distance. Her heart raced. It was him. The man who made her feel whole. She ran toward him, but as she got closer, the figure disappeared. Desperate, she looked around, but there was no sign of him. What was happening? Was he real or just a creation of her mind? Determined to uncover the truth, Hana decided to visit a therapist. During the sessions, she began to explore her memories. The therapist encouraged her to write about the man and the experiences she believed she had shared with him. Hana started to piece together fragments of her life, but with each new discovery, more questions arose. One day, while reviewing her notes, Hana found the man's name, Jiho. She didn't know how she remembered it, but certainty washed over her. With the name in mind, she began to search. Social media was her first stop, but there was no mention of Jiho. As time passed, she felt increasingly alone, as if she were adrift in a sea of solitude. One morning, while exploring a local market, Hana heard a familiar laugh. Her heart stopped. It was the same laugh that echoed in her mind. She quickly turned around and saw a woman talking with a group of friends. Hana approached, hesitant. "Excuse me, but do you know Jiho?" The woman looked at her with curiosity. "Jiho? He was my childhood friend. Why do you ask?" Hana felt a mix of joy and confusion. I know him, but I don't know how. He is very special to me." The woman smiled, but there was a shadow of sadness in her eyes. Jiho had an accident a few years ago. He didn't survive. The woman's words cut through Hana like a knife. The man who filled her memories, whom she believed was the love of her life, was dead. How was that possible? Why were her memories so vivid, so real? She felt lost, as if the ground had disappeared beneath her feet. Determined to understand, Hana decided to visit Jiho's grave in the city cemetery. She knelt, tears streaming down her face. The pain of loss consumed her, but something inside her also lit up. She realized that the love she felt for Jiho was real, even if he was no longer present. Over time, Hana began to accept the truth. She realized that, although Jiho was not physically by her side, he would always be a part of her. Her memories were not just fragments of a dream, they were reminders of a love that transcended life and death. Hana decided to honor Jiho by living fully, bringing his light to the world. Hana's journey was not easy, but she began to find peace in her pain. Through her story, she helped others cope with loss and find hope. Jiho's love became a driving force, guiding her with every step she took. And so, Hana transformed her sorrow into strength, creating a new life filled with love and light, always carrying Jiho's memory in her heart. She knew that, although he was no longer there, true love never dies, it lives on forever in the memories we leave behind. If you enjoyed the story, please like and subscribe.